You see, so now come to find out, my mama sent word when them angels came back in 2009. They say that the Archangel Michael, he has a cycle that's been in for a couple of thousand years, or for about 1,000 years, or a couple of 100 years. They said his cycle will give out and end, and then the angel Raphael will start the new cycle. Raphael is a Saturn angel. So what my mother did is she sent word about Castiel, but she know that I knew that Castiel was a Saturn angel. Right. Now, this is how you make the clues. Then I heard Rudolf Steiner talk about in his book called Archangel Michael, but it's also Archangel Michael, but it's also in the book Encyclopedia of Angels by Richard Webster. They said that the cycle or the era or the age of Michael, Archangel Michael, is going to give over to Archangel Raphael, who is a Saturn angel. Guess what? That's who my mother is. I was thinking she was Castiel. No, she said she wanted to show you Castiel, to show you that Castiel is an angel of Saturn. But they also say that this cycle is going to give out with a Raphael from Michael to a Raphael. I said, oh, shit. That's why she went up in a blaze of fire. She came back a year later. She said, I had to sacrifice and go up in the blaze of fire so I can get shit straight for many of people. You see, so this is the deal. And it just came to me, oh, okay. You are the new cycle that Rudolf Steiner in the early 1900s said that Michael's cycle going to give over to the age of a Raphael. And I said, a Raphael is a silent angel. Oh, so that's who the fuck you are. You see, now, dealing with that, it means, and I guess it had to happen to me because I got the kind of knowledge to understand this. So I guess you study long enough. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people won't be able to understand it. So it had to happen to me in that line. Now, this is the key. This is the key. And so what we say in here is, in looking at her transformation and her climb into these angels and her climbing into having whole sections sections of these spirit realms that she's over, it means that now we are at that stage now. We just don't know it because of our pineal glands ain't quite open. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
You see, we're at that. That's the destiny. It's already come back.
That's it.
It's already come back. Now they talk about this comet Melanin. Came in on the 16th, which is Lakshmi's Day, which started the Diwali Festival, which is a prosperity festival. The Diwali Festival going to last. It came in on October the 16th, and it's going to last all the way to December. And so on October the 16th, they also worship El Cristo Negro down in the one that they worship him on the 21st in let me see, I know it's Puerto Rico worship him on the 16th.
Right.
Lakshmi's Day is the 16th. Now, the key here is that Melanin comet came in on the 16th. Some people are saying that it's also Nibiru. Now, this is the key. Both in Robert Temple's book, Serious Mystery, and also in a book called The Architects of the Underworld by Bruce Rux. He said that you have Nibiru. He said, but you also have, in Egypt, Nibiru is more of a Sumerian name. In Egypt, it's called Neb-Heru. And in so many words, when you translate it, guess what it means? People are looking up at the star in Melanin, and they're looking up at the star. They've already named it Nibiru, but Neb-Heru means the pineal gland, which means It's right on time with the third eye mirror. You see. So Melanin, although I can see it up in the sky, it's a ship. But in all honesty, if Melanin is Nibiru, which they're calling it both, if it's Nibiru, then it means ultimately there is a comet, but it's also talking about the ushering in, opening up the doorway to heaven, which is the pineal gland. The pineal gland in Egypt is called Nebheru. The same Nebheru is translated Nibiru in Samaria. You see what I'm saying? They call it the 12th planet. They got several things, but it's also now been connected to Melanin, and in all of that, we're also talking about the third eye.
Yeah.
And that's when we looked up and went to the supermarket, and everything is full of soy. It's in the cookies. It's in all your bread. So they say they put it in there because soy is nothing but plastic. They make plastic out of soy. You see what I'm saying? So if you really want to fuck a motherfucker third eye up, give them the soy. They take the soy. You still on? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. You give them the soy. The soy is in the Similac and the Infamil. It's in the formulas that the babies drink. So they'll come in here brain dead. You see. Now, don't be alarmed. The third eye is an indestructible seed. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You just got to get off certain things. They say flour, white flour. The third eye is an indestructible thing, but certain things you gotta get off of. You see what I'm saying? And all. So this is what's going on, and so this is why the black mirror. Why all of a sudden the spirit gave me the vision of the black mirror. You see what I'm saying? So now. People bought the black mirrors. They say, well, what is it for? Now, because Nibiru is here, Melanin, and it also means the third eye. Now is the time to get the black mirror. Now is the time it's going to activate. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? When it's going to activate. You see, got to drink a lot of water. Reverse osmosis water. A lot of water. You see. A lot of water. If you can, go on a fast. Yeah. Juice fast. Or if you don't go on a fast, do the Ramadan. Let me tell you what Ramadan is. Ramadan used to be put in, it came out of Egypt. See, different people who, after Egypt fell, the people of those particular lands kept some of the motifs and the practices that the ancient Egyptians used to do. So in this particular case, Ramadan came out of Egypt, and what Ramadan was for is when Sirius rose in the sky and the Nile rose, the priests would tell the people in Egypt to go on their diet. See, the priests every day wouldn't eat until sundown.
That's right.
You see, okay. So after Ramadan rose up, they would tell the other people, you got to go on the diet of the priests for the month of Ramadan. Ra-ma-dan. Ra, Amun-Ra, Ma, Maya, Dan. Dan is a god that Samson, which is Ra-Heru-Kahudi, comes from the tribe of Dan. That's another god, Ramadan. You see, so now, what the deal here is, the priests used to do this every day. They just told the people, well, in order to get the energy of Sirius or the dog days in the sky during that month, you got to do it like us and don't eat till sundown to catch all that energy. But they used to do it every day. And so this was one of the things that later on ended up being carried over with the Arabs or the Muslims. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It was a practice came out of Egypt, because you got to realize now, it was far for most of the people. They tell them to do it when Sirius rose.
Yes.
Okay. During that time, dog days. But The priests used to do it every day. Now, this is the key. The Muslims kept it up because the Muslims, they used to, Muhammad's father was a Cushite Arab. Because that whole area from Ethiopia on into India was the ancient Kushite Empire. And Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and all that stuff wasn't up in northeast Africa. You see.
Yes.
And before Islam rose, they had a series of 3 male goddesses. One of them is Alat. You see. And so they also dealt with the whole Sirius stuff. That's why Sirius ends up in the surah of the star in the Quran. It says, this is the God who created both male and female from one single ejaculated semen. He is the Lord of Sirius. Now, the Lord of Sirius would be in Egypt. The male Lord of Sirius would be Osiris, because Osiris is also Orion, and Sirius is in the constellation of Orion. So the surah of the star, they still got the surah of the star in the Quran. They got the surah of the moon. That's Tahuti. That's Khonsu. You see, they got the surah of the Tau. That's Heru. So some of this stuff sifted over because they used to have a mystery system in that time when Muhammad was a child. You see what I'm saying? Or it was a mystery system of the Cushite Arabs, which was talking about was talking about the Ethiopians. That's why Bilal was from the Ethiopians. And they say Bilal was a slave. No, but Bilal is the motherfucker who wrote the Quran. Remember now, Muhammad couldn't read or write till the day he died. So who wrote the Quran? The most wisdom person, they say, the Ethiopians, the burnt-faced people who are never wrong. Just nothing but the fathers and mothers of the Egyptians or the Camites. You see. So this is the stuff that's going on. So if you don't go on a fast, at least observe Ramadan. For you people in the consciousness, you observe Ramadan from now on as much as you can. You see. So there's certain things you got to do. You see. So now let's go into some question and answers.
All right, everyone. We are live here with Brother Bobby Hemmitt. We have about 26 minutes left to go in the forum. We will go into overtime as well, too. We're going to be taking questions. Get your questions ready. And the number to call in if you have a question, 646-652-2711 is the number to call for questions as well. And also press 1 when you get on the phone line so we know you're here to ask a question. And so also for those of you who are listening out there, if you didn't get a chance, know that you can get all of these things we talked about tonight, the picture package. You can get the angelic stimulus check. You can also get the black mirror, all of these things for your activation, growth, money, whatever, by contacting Brother Bobby.
As well as, within the angelic stimulus package, we also have the purple energy disc, the Techion energy. Okay. You see, so we got all of that stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is a must. I definitely have mine. You guys should get yours, 678, and the number you're going to call, 358-1055. That's how you're going to get in. So we're going to go to the phone lines. Press 1 when you get on the phone if you have a question so we can go to questions for Brother Bobby. We're going to go to the first caller. It looks like calling in from area code 516. You're live in the remix. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from. 516?
Miss Blue.
516?
Yeah, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you. Greetings. Who's on the line, please?
This is Q. Quentin.
Greetings, Quentin. You had a question for Brother Bobby?
Yeah, Brother Bobby. I recently got the pack, and I just wanted to kind of go over and hear from you. How would you use it on a daily basis?
Which one?
All of them. Whether the disc or the picture package or the mirror. Or in the mirror, I have all of them.
Well, okay. The mirror, you stare in it when you get the urge to stare in it from time to time. What it does is it strengthens the third eye.
Okay.
And soon you will start to see things. So it's an inhibitor, not an inhibitor. It's a strengthener. It strengthens the third eye. You see what I'm saying? And you stare into it as much as often and stuff until you see visions. Now, let me give you another thing on how the third eye works. The third eye also works. A lot of times, if people be looking for visions, it's come in thoughts, too.
Mm-hmm.
Third eye also works as thoughts, knowledge, channels, all of that type of stuff. So, okay, now, as far as the picture packet, it is. We have put just about most of the deities that you can think of. There's hundreds of deities, but we put most of the essential deities from around the world in the picture packet.
Okay.
So what you do with that picture packet here is I know some people got the whole thing on the whole wall. You can do that like wallpaper, but what you can also do is you go through the picture packet and you look at the names at the bottom, because all of them are named. And so you look at the names at the bottom, and when you look at the names at the bottom, you go on the internet and look up and learn more and more about those deities. What you're going to find out here is if you're drawn to a picture in there, and there's 70 of them, usually that's that deity summoning you to make contact, to help you and all, to help you in your endeavor. Some of them will be for knowledge. So what you do is when you look at those pictures and you read the attributes of what those deities are, because now you don't have to have a whole lot of books. Just go on the internet. All those deities are in there some kind of way. And if you read the attributes and this deity summon you, then you'll understand that this is the area at this particular time that you need to be focusing on.
Okay.
Whatever deity you come across. One deity might be a deity for knowledge. One deity might be a deity for sleep. One deity might be a deity for healing. But if it summons you and you look at the bottom of the picture and then you go to the internet and look up the attributes, that's the area on what you're supposed to be dealing with. So that's one. And you wear your purple disc. That brings energies. That's one on where that tachyon energy is good. It's good for kundalini energy. It's good for healing. And like I said before, we had one sister. She sent her brother one in Iraq. And he was out there, and all his friends got killed in the battlefield in Iraq, and he was the only one the bullet flew right past him. That's because of the tachyon energy, which is these angelic forces from a ninth dimension. So those are things you can work with and just, keep the check framed. You can keep the check framed.
Okay. And
and at times you can go in, if you can get the book, because the name of that book that the angels came out of, those books, each angel has I'm trying to think of the name of that book. Each angel has an invocation. From time to time, you can invoke that angel. The guardian angel, is the people who get all of that. So it's different things. Then also in the picture package, you should have 4 archangels.
Yeah.
One sister healed herself from cancer with those 4 archangels, and with the 4 archangels and stuff like that. So we got all of that type of stuff. But like I said, I got these new seals coming for prosperity, protection, angelic forces, all of that stuff. You see, all of that and stuff. So we got a lot of stuff. Just call to inquire about that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in. And also for those of you who've had readings and angels and goddesses and gods have come to you, I always tell you get the picture packet because that's where you can get the pictures. And another thing is different from just going on the internet and getting pictures. These are pictures that have been with Brother Bobby for years. So
right.
They're already charged up. So
they're charged up.
Right away.
They're charged up. Let me give an example. I think I might have told you this before.
Yes.
There's a book called Napoleonic Egypt, and so one of my friends, he got, he got they would take out a school loan, and you get the school loan and you get some money on the side after you pay what the school get. You might have a couple $1,000. So
right.
when he asked me, he said, "Yo, what you want? I got my school loan in." I said, "Well, hey, I need this Napoleonic Egypt book because it has all these Egyptian temples." Now, I got those Egyptian temples, all of them are in the picture packet. So what happened was I was working down at my little friend's store named Stiegel, and we would feed the AU Center, Spelman and all of those type things, you know, and all. And what happened was I was waiting on the shoe industry to reply, come back to New York. And so the guy in New York said, well, I ain't got no money to pay. I don't have a job for you now, so go back to Atlanta and get you a job and work until we can put this business together and stuff so we can open up these stores and different things. We're going to put you in Ebony and all this kind of thing here. So that was the guy, Roger Bowman, the designer up in New York. So I went back, and we used to go in there, and we'd be talking all this consciousness. And in my man's store, he said, yo, man, he said, you went to school with these students. I need somebody who knows the rapport of these students and stuff to come in here. And so all I want you to do is write out these damn tickets and call out their food. That's all you got to do. And I kind of hesitated a minute, and he said, oh, okay now. You talking all that black shit. You don't want to work for the black man? He said, you say you need a job until that shoe shit come through. I said, I'll be here Monday morning. Okay. So what happened was I worked for him about 2 years, and he paid me under the table. I was making so much money under the table. So what happened was one day during the summer he got cheap and fucked around and put me on the grill. So, you know, it's slow. You know, a lot of the students going home for the summer. You can handle them goddamn orders. I said, now, are you sure? So he put me on the fucking grill. I was slinging that goddamn grease and shit. And so when I left the store to go home, about 3 o'clock, the stove was burning up. The stove caught on fucking fire. And I knew what it was. I was slinging that goddamn grease, and that grease it started a grease fire. So, so the store, the whole back panel of the wall burned up. His license, the store license, the inspection, all the paper on the wall burned up. And I had six Egyptian temples, the ones that's now in the picture packet. They was sitting on the ashes.
Wow.
Perfect. The wall behind it was charred ash, and the pictures were still setting up there. He called the house because he said, well, you know, you don't have to come to the store. He said, because I'm renovating. He called the house and said, Bobby, you need to come down here. He said, you need to come down here and see this. So when I got down to the store, the fucking pictures was on still nailed to the ashes. The wall burned up behind the pictures and didn't even burn up the picture. That's what kind of power those shits had. And I had those temples since 1991. You see, 1991. And the pictures burned up, and the stove burned up the year I started lecturing in 1992. And I've always had those pictures. So we got tons of this stuff that I have collected where I paid $100 for a book for one goddamn picture. But it was a picture you had to have. And that's how you do research. You can't be cheap if you're in the spirit world.
You sure can.
You know, I know niggas, they buy a book, it's almost like they're buying a goddamn house. You know?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You can't spend there was $14 in the 90s. Now them books, they done put new covers on them, and they charge you $30.
They sure
but people being cheap, you see.
Yes.
So give me some questions.
All right. We're going to keep going. We're going to go to the next caller calling, and it looks like from area code 281. You're live in the remix. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Hello?
281? Yes, greetings. You're on the line.
Hey, how you doing now, Brother Bobby?
How you doing? All right?
All right, not too bad. This is Andre. I wanted to ask you a question. I also wanted to get with you to get a hold of one of them packs, though, because, you know.
Call the number 678-358-1055. But what's your question?
Okay. Well, it hasn't been happening recently. The last one that came to me was Brother Panic, but I don't really get, you know, I guess from answers. I guess the answers come through, but it always be in the form of people who are alive. It never be like people who are like in the spiritual realm. They and dreams or whatnot. Because at first it started out with you, and I guess because I listened to the lectures, but why is that? You
can pull up people thoughts, people frequencies. It's all one frequency. As a matter of fact, we are not local and we are not long distance. We are one. You ever heard that before? Mays had a album. We are one. You see what I'm saying? Right. We are right here. It's just that this realm and this realm of illusion makes you think it's distance. So you can pick up people's thoughts, you can pick up people's essence, especially if it's a person that's been doing this for a minute and is in the spirit world. Yeah, so that's what that is. You own. They call it the frequency. That's what we used to call it. Right. And you own the frequency, and on that frequency, there's a movie called John Carpenter's Vampires. John Carpenter's Vampire came out in like 1998, and in there they say when the vampire bites you, they say you got about 24 hours for the vampire frequency kick in, and once the frequency kick in, he has you. So in so many words, we own that frequency. Now that used to happen to me when I was in my excursions with the females for about 4 years before Linda came.
Right.
I had a bunch of girlfriends, but how I did it now, how I was able to do it, I didn't have mess with one woman. Didn't tell her. I told them all, you can be my girlfriend, and tell them I got other girlfriends. So I had a little heat, and so what happened was when I start knocking the boots and stuff, when we start getting down sexually, I'd have to take the phone off the damn hook because I had established a psychic vampire tantric link with the rest of them girls, rest of them women.
It's a cord.
Right. A cord, right. So what happened was I had established a psychic link with them because sex is real spiritual. So every time I would do it, they would start ringing the damn phone. I said, excuse me, I got to take this phone off the hook. Because multiple, they would ring the damn phone. And when I called, they said, I knew you was doing something. I felt you. I knew you was doing something and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's a frequency. That's why sometime when you cheat on your wife or you cheat or she cheat on you, you know it because it's a frequency. Yeah, because it's a frequency. And I did know this about Linda. It's just that the only good part about me is when I decide to be with a person, if I decided to be with the multiple girlfriends, but when I decided to settle down and be with a person, I never do cheat on those people. And it's just something that me and my brothers, because we was raised by two strong women, we never really cheated on the people that we were with permanently. You see what I'm saying? But even if I were to cheat, I really would get fucked up with Linda because it was a movie with Richard Pryor, Which Way Is Up? And Lynette McKee tell him, she said, if you fuck somebody, I will know it. And stuff like that. But that's how Linda is.
I remember that.
That's how Linda is. I was in Chicago. This woman, this was about 2 years after we got together. This woman invited me to Chicago to do a lecture.
Yeah.
To do a lecture. And so, come to find out, she was inviting me up there to get busy. I told her, well, if you would have did this 2 years ago, there wouldn't have been no problem. I was lining them up. Hey, I was equal opportunity. Fat, old, skinny, short,
Everything she wanted.
And and stuff like that. No. Stuff like that. The best ones? Them goddamn bisexuals. Them lesbian women.
You ain't lying.
Them the best ones. Woo! Them motherfuckers is gatekeepers. Had a couple of them, too. You see, they wasn't all the way lesbian. Them motherfuckers could roll. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You see, they could perform. But check this out now. So I'm up there in Chicago. This woman get naked and get in the tub, and the door is open. And she in there moaning and groaning in the tub, and I'm like, what the fuck was this motherfucker doing? And then Linda called, and she say, now, we inseparable. Yeah, and shit like that.
Oh man, no.
And so at the end of the day, at the end of the lectures, like 3 days, the woman said, I tried to do everything to get you in bed. Why you didn't get down? I said, well, I don't get down like that when I'm with somebody. I say, if I'm gonna be like that, I might as well stay single. I said, but
right.
I already know now. If I had done something, she would know about it. She would know about it because she picked the shit up with the woman naked in the bathtub. I never told her about this. And she called and said, now, you know we inseparable. I'm like, what the fuck? She picked it up in the woman in the bathtub and shit with the door open and stuff. And with the door open and stuff. You see, I say, now, it would have been 2 years ago, I'd have broke you down like a motherfucking shotgun. You see?
Right.
But, you know, so my point is there's frequencies. There's frequencies. You know this motherfucker now, I had this mucus. So she go, you know, when I went into that dimension, you see what I'm saying? My throat is two dimensions. So what happens is it causes mucus because the simple fact I'm in 2 dimensions. So if my diet is off, sometimes I'll have the mucus in my throat, and I won't even let her know. And she go, your ass done ate some bread or some shit, you hawking. I'm like, God damn it, I said, I haven't even coughed, I haven't done anything like that. And stuff. So my point here is, you know, when I itch, she can feel it. You see what I'm saying? There's certain things, certain frequencies. You see, certain frequencies, and so that's what's happening. You know, but not if, you know, but her, you know, like I said, the woman was just in the bathtub, and she picked the shit up. I guess she picked the shit up of the woman longing for me. You see what I'm saying? And I never did go. And she was trying to get me to go. She left the door, and she was trying to get me to go in there and look at her and stuff like that. But I wouldn't look. I was in the other room talking, okay, having a conversation with her, but I wouldn't go up in there and stuff. So, like I said again, that's what you're picking up. So give me some questions.
All right, we're going to keep going.